Soul Simmers, my name is Darth Jaswick and welcome back to my channel. Today we're rebuilding the Pancakes house because I really don't like the house that they live in, and I've also just been really horrible to Eliza and Bob in my Legacy Challenge, so I thought I would do something nice for them and build them a new house. I'm also going to try to make this somewhat of a budget challenge. I'm just going to try to stay underneath their budget that they had for their previous home. They had about 20,000 simoleons left over from their last house, so I'm going to make it around 130, 140 simoleons. For the exterior wall paint, I thought it would be nice to use a combination of brick and stucco, and then I have to fix the roof because I wanted it to be like stucco on one side and not brick. I'm using just a metal swatch for the roofs, and then for the porches, I'm actually going to put platforms over them and just like raise them up 1 or 2 notches and then use a platform trim, and that looks pretty nice, I think. And then I'm going to use these pillars from Get Together to just kind of line all of the corners that we have on this build. I'm using a medium wall height for the top level just so that I can get the windows from Growing Together to sit above the platform line. If you've never built with platforms before, if you put a window behind a platform, it just looks weird, so I wanted to raise those windows up just a little bit. I also have the floor plan done. We ended up with 2 full bathrooms and then 1 half bathroom downstairs. We also have 2 bedrooms because Eliza and Bob sleep in separate rooms. I ended up redoing the entire bottom level floor plan. I wanted to have the entryway be the dining room and not the living room, just because I thought it would be nicer to exit out of the right side of the house, especially when you're going into the backyard. And I mainly did that because of the shape of the back porch. There's a lot more space on the left side of the build than there is on the right side of the porch on the back. If you're not familiar with the Pancakes, Bob has the culinary career aspiration, so I'm going to make sure he has a really, really nice kitchen and all the appliances that he could possibly need for that. I'm using a lot of Home Chef Hustle in this build. The plain black counters were not doing it for me, so I ended up swapping them out with these gray ones that have a tortoiseshell granite on top of them instead. They're kind of like a grayish green, and I really enjoy that because it brings a little bit of brightness to this kitchen. These cabinets have a little bit of gold on them, so I'm going to try and match our appliances and the rest of the wood tones in the house to that. I also gave them a waffle maker and a dishwasher, as well as the sink from the Home Chef Hustle stuff pack. I like it because it's kind of slanted, so it looks like your silverware could possibly go in that. I'm also going to add a few cabinets just for some extra storage. Your Sims can't actually store stuff in there, so they're just for decoration, but you know, we can pretend. I'm going to decorate our little island here with a cookbook and the scale, and then I'm going to add the knife block from the Home Chef Hustle kit. I don't really use it that often. I think it's too big in my opinion, but it fits nicely over here in this corner where I'm not really using anything. They also have the rice cooker from the For Rent pack. I just gave them so many appliances. They have like everything. I wanted them to be prepared. Like, Bob is a chef. He deserves the best, especially after what I just did to him. Bob has been through a lot with Cherry, so he deserves better. I never really used these shelves from the Home Chef Hustle stuff pack, but I decided it would be a fun time to use them and put our seasonings up here, as well as some peppers and the little berries and cream decoration. In this little empty space here, I'm going to add our trash can and a broom, as well as our aprons, and then I also added the little letter box from the Everyday Clutter kit just to the living room by the door. Or not the living room, the dining room. And then I just kind of like skipped over the dining room for a moment so that I could do the living room. I was really excited about the living room. We have this massive space here so I can fill in as much as I want with like random clutter and items for the Pancakes to do. The couch and the chairs are from the Industrial Loft kit, and then this little ottoman is from City Living. The fireplace is from Growing Together, and the little coffee table is from the base game. I put stone behind my fireplaces just because that's what I've experienced in real life having a fireplace. I also put tile underneath of it because it's less likely to catch on fire. But we're going to take a break just for a moment from the living room and do the dining room a little bit. I have a table from Seasons, and these chairs are from the Modern Luxe kit. I was having a really hard time because I was so excited to build this house that I was just skipping between all the rooms. But currently I'm just adding a few shelves from Eco Lifestyle so we can get a little bit more decorations in here. I never use this little bar cart from the luxury party kit, so I thought it would be fun to add it here for Bob, and he can like make some drinks. I've also got like one of the little drink trays to put on top of it so that you can actually serve drinks in here. I don't know what this poster says in Simlish, but I'm just going to imagine that it says something along the lines of, "It's 5 o'clock somewhere," because that feels like something Eliza would have above her bar cart. Speaking of Eliza, we're going to move on to her bedroom and her bathroom. Eliza's room was very pink before. She had this pink Princess Cordelia bed too, so I'm going to stick to those vibes. Also, I'm pretty sure that this is the nicest bathroom that I have in this game, and I gave it to Eliza Pancakes. I'm going to add these counters from the Home Chef Hustle kit in pink in her bathroom for the sink and the mirror area. Although I'm not really sure about having the mirrors like face each other in the same room. They're not necessarily like refracting off of each other, but they can cause it to lag a little bit. When I was building, I didn't experience any glitches or anything because they're not necessarily facing each other head on, but it could cause problems. I always forget that Seasons comes with plumbing appliances, so I used the shower and the tub from Seasons, and then a toilet from the base game. This little corner over here across from the toilet was just begging for a few plants, and then I added a few curtains from high school years. They're like sheer curtains. Your Sims don't really care about privacy, so I'm not too worried about it either. I didn't like this empty space here, so I added a little side table with some bath salts and a little incense burner. I know I said I don't usually put those in builds, but it's the Pancakes house. They're probably never going to light it anyway. Especially if you're just placing this build down and just kind of going about your day, they probably won't use it. I gave her the same curtains in her bedroom paired with the Modern Luxe ones because I figured you could make them more blackout curtains if you have the thicker Modern Luxe curtains over it. They don't really actually close, but you know. I also gave her a matching dresser from high school years, as well as the love seat from high school years. I gave Eliza a TV in her room, and then I have it sitting on a paranormal pack dresser, and this lamp over here in the corner is from the Decor to the Max kit. I really like the fringe on the lampshade. I think it's pretty cool. I gave her a ton of plants in here from varying packs, and then a couple of salt lamps from the Everyday Clutter kit, I think. I'm adding a few last minute pictures in here before I move on to Bob's room, and I thought this poster from the Modern Luxe kit looked kind of like Eliza, so I'm gonna add it in her room. In the old house, Bob had some of the cheapest furniture in the entire house, so I'm gonna splurge a little bit on him. We have about 55,000 simoleons left at this point, so we can totally afford it. We only have like 1 or 2 more rooms to decorate, so I'm not worried about money at this point. I'm adding a few clutter items to Bob's little side table, and then we also have a sconce from Growing Together, as well as this side table from Growing Together. I gave him curtains from the Modern Luxe kit as well, and then some workout equipment from the fitness stuff pack, I want to say, and then a wall-mounted TV from University. Bob has the lazy trait, so I'm not sure if he'll enjoy working out, but he does have that in his room if he wants to. I also gave him a poster of himself. It's from the base game, and I never really get a lot of opportunities to use it, so I figured we're building in the Pancakes house, we might as well put Bob's poster up in his room. I used a few items from the High School Years expansion pack and the Dream Home Decorator pack to create his wardrobe, and then I gave him a rug from Parenthood and a few clutter items on the floor. I think Bob has the slob trait too, so he's a little bit messy. Eliza has the neat trait, so I kept her room very clean. And Bob's like literally her opposite. We just have a few more clutter items to go in here, and then we'll move on to the office space. In here I have a chess table, and then I'm also going to add a computer because those are always nice to have in your builds, or even if you just want to come here and use their computer. They might get angry at you, but you can still do it. I gave them this nice computer from City Living because the one that they had before was just the cheapest one that you can buy from the base game. This little corner of the office was looking really empty, so I thought I would add a seating area over here just for whoever wanted to come in and bother Eliza or Bob while they're on the computer. I'm going to use this little ottoman from the Snowy Escape pack in a plain like cream swatch, and then a matching chair from the Decor to the Max kit. It's kind of crazy, but I think it works in here. We kind of have like a neutral theme going on in the office because we don't know exactly who is using it. Like I'm setting it up for specifically Eliza to do whatever she needs to do, but it's very neutral so your Sims could both use it. But I am going to move on to the backyard. I've already got quite a few items placed out here just because I was scrolling through the gallery and just saw it and just kind of put it out here. So I added a few garden plots out here because Eliza had a few of them before, and I want her to still be able to garden if she wants to. I also have a patio table, and for the landscaping, I'm just using a lot of these low-lying pale flowers and some daisies, as well as the lavender plants. I usually try to keep my landscaping very simple. My Sims spend a lot of time indoors just because they're skill building and all their stuff is indoors. And then I'm going to carry the same landscaping out to the front yard and make like a front garden area. The front sidewalk is actually from Journey to Batu, but if you don't have that pack, I think the game will replace it with something similar if you don't. If you want to download this build, it'll be on my gallery at Darth_Jeswick, just like it appears here on YouTube. But that is all the time I have for today's speed build. We'll be getting to the tour in just a few moments, but if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button because it really helps out. I try to upload a couple videos a week, so subscribe and hit the bell button to get a notification every time I post a new video. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Dag dag!